like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast for with young men. Let's dive right in. Nora, what you got?
So I have a 3-year-old. Need I say more? So I don't know any tips or advice on raising young men.
And it's not just any 3-year-old. I mean, this kid is just they're all special, but he's yeah, he's crazy cool. He's a cool kid. So, when Ginger Ann gave birth on on Monday, I had the kids, six of the kids, and I was playing pickleball. And Audrey, the wife of the president of Grand Design, founder of Grand Design, so I'm playing pickleball. And the kids are running all over the place. And she was like, she told me yesterday, she's freaking out. She's like, I was so stressed. Like, Mom, like, how are you keeping track of all of them? Like, and it was interesting, Mikey, so he's the same age and he's 3 years old. And so the rule was you don't go in the parking lot. Fortunately, I'd parked the van, the big 15 passenger van on the side, but he went in the parking lot and like he wasn't in danger, but he could have been. And I'm like, Mikey, Grandpa told you not to, like, what? And he went to the van on his own, independent, and he went ahead and had to get a drink of water. Like I had to get, I went to get a drink of water, Grandpa. like, like, it was just like and so I think a lot of times when parents explain themselves to young children, the young children in their little tiny brains think, well, I just going to explain myself to mom, dad, adults. So Mikey's, I don't know if he's going to remember that on his own. He will remember it the rest of his life because Grandpa's never going to forget that. And so I think a lot of times, like they're little trees, they're little trees, and they're bent some more than others, and they start growing crooked. And as a little sapling, you can go ahead and um, you can straighten them out pretty easy. But as the roots get deeper and deeper and deeper, it gets harder and harder and harder. And so, um, and then when you have tension, um, where you have influences in their life where they think one way. So kids will go, most kids, it seems like most children will go where it's easiest to go mentally. They'll come up with a reason, an excuse, an explanation. And so, and if the parents do it, the kids magnify it. If the parents explaining themselves why they didn't do this and why they didn't do that, the kids, they're picking it up. And so it's easier to go ahead and have it's easier to go ahead and have um, to pick up thinking that's destructive. And once they get it in their mind, once they get lazy mentally, they get lazy mentally, physically, morally, emotionally, relationally, spiritually. When people get lazy, it's really, really hard So I don't know, Nora. I mean, I think a lot of people thought I was too hard on my kids and didn't give my kids enough room. They're saying now as adults, like our 27-year-old when he was 17, he wanted to go ahead and 17 and a half, he wanted to go live with one of his friends. That happened like for four of our kids. It was just weird to me. And so the parents were fine with it. And I'm like, he's close to 18, and so I'm going to give him freedom. I don't know. And he told me, I don't know, a year or so ago, I said, so did I make a good decision in giving you freedom at 17 to go live with your friend? He's like, yeah, probably not, Dad. That probably wasn't a good decision. I'm like, okay. So I don't know, Nora. It's just to me, because everybody's telling me, Mark, you're thinking too much. Mark, you don't let them make mistakes and you do this and this and this. Um, I don't think I was proactive enough. I don't think I was as hard on my kids as I should have been. Um, so um, so I don't know. Every child's different. Every life is different. Everything's different. And it's heartbreaking. I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking. So, like in teaching, so the oldest one's 14 in that family, youngest one's like a year old or year and a half old. And so the 12-year-old, like he said, "Hey, Grandpa, can I do this?" And I said, "Well, you can do it, yeah, because you have the capability, but you have to consider your younger brothers and sisters. And your younger brother, who's 3, like he thinks, well, you can do this. You can climb 20 feet into the air. And so you've got the capability to do that, but your younger brother, he doesn't. You have to consider other people around you." And so, yeah, sorry, I don't have more. I mean, the personalities, I think they helped me a lot. So that helped me a whole lot. Um, oh, one thing I always wanted to do that I tried, obviously not hard enough, but I wanted to get my boys in and do wilderness trips and do camping and guy things with other strong men. And so that I would do. I'd go ahead and get strong men and have him do manly things, have him do things that, you know, and have strong men that he can go out camping with, he can go hunting with, he can go fishing with, he can go ahead and do rough things, do boy things,
I'm
and
gonna
with
get
other
him
boy. What's that?
I think I'm gonna get him into martial arts as soon as I can too, because he has lately he has this aggressive side. Like it's just
Oh,
like I tell him not to do something, and he just
oh yeah,
me this look that I'm like,
oh yeah,
yeah,
oh it's crazy. I mean, all 3 of my boys hit Rosanna or kicked her once, and it's in the 2 and 3 range. And I'm telling you, that never happened again. I mean, it was like, boy, I will smoke and earth you. I mean, I will bring you down. And so there's something about, there's something about um, little boys and women. And there's something in a culture where often in the culture there's not strong male role models. So do you have three, four generational stuff that goes in that you don't even know? Like it's insane. Is it wired into their DNA? It might be. And they can go on and be presidents of the United States. But boy, they either go one extreme or they tend to go another extreme. And so it's yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
heard an interesting story about that. We were at a seminar, and he said there was a father who was an abusive or he alcoholic, and he had two boys, and one was very successful, and business wise and family wise, and the other was living on the streets. I was like, they did a study on them, and they both asked why they were where they were, and they both had the same reason. They both said because their father was an abusive alcoholic.
yeah, and so one went ahead and took ownership of it and said, I'm going to be intentionally willing to work hard to prevent that from happening. And the other used it as an excuse, as a reason. Uh, Adam, good to have you on, sir. What would you like to accomplish today? This is for the young men's.
Okay, nothing special, but I was
Gotcha.
just
Yeah, no, it's
want.
good that you're on. So Adam's from Pakistan. So over there, there's a lot of arranged marriages, and so Adam's going to go ahead and be married in a year and a half. He's going to have an amazing marriage. His parents are going to largely choose, his wife, and that's gonna work out really well for his wife and for him. Um, Yen over in India, um, he had arranged marriage and he says, yeah, I'm getting married next week. And I'm like, I didn't even know you were dating. He says, oh, I'm not dating. I said, oh, so you have an arranged marriage? He said, yeah. I said, is that required? He says, no, in our family, half the cousins, get have arranged and half do it other. And I said, really? And he's like, yeah. And so I said, that's fascinating. I said, how does that work? And he says, well, my parents choose my future wife, and I sit down and talk to her for, an hour, couple hours. And then, so he's got some say in it. He could say no. And, and I said, really? So you get a couple hours? Yeah. Yep. And then, yep, looks good. Get married. I said, wow. He said, why'd you do it why'd you choose that way versus the other? He's like, oh, it's far more efficient that way. I'm like, ooh, good answer. Like, oh. And I said, what about this whole love thing? He says, well, Mark, I have a philosophy, and that is you can either fall in love and get married or get married and fall in love. I said, that's fascinating. And arranged marriages actually have a higher statistical probability of success. And I wonder if it's because the guy and the gal trust their parents. And so, and I think it's almost wired where the parents have this subconscious, they know, yeah, that one's not going to work for my son or daughter. Yep, that one will. But they're going to have hard time, but that hard time is good for them because it helps them to become, who they were created to be. Patrick sent over that friendship where he said there's three types of friends from Aristotle, Socrates, and fascinating, just really fascinating. Kenny, what you got?
Um, Almost had it.
You want me to swing back to you?
Yes, do that.
Kevin, what you got?
So mine would just be so I have a couple of brothers yet at home. How could I be like a good role model for them or help them be what they are
Uh,
created to be?
Yeah. So anything you're getting trained, coached on, how old are they?
14, well, one's 17, 14, and 10.
Okay, gotcha. And so they're looking to you. They're looking to you. They're watching you a lot more than you think. And and so I would definitely have a conversation with your wife and say, "Hey, honey, we're role models to them." And so, how do you absolutely adore that woman? Like, how is she more in love with you than she's ever been before? How do you go ahead and serve her, help her? And then how do you make sure how do you help her do the same thing back to you where you guys are in flow? Because they're going to ask you about dating if the oldest one might already be, and you're going to go ahead. And so, how do you navigate through the hard times? How do you do that? And so, you have an amazing marriage. You have an amazing marriage. And then you go ahead and have a really hard work ethic, and you're working together for something. And so you're building something together. It's not your business and she's got her stuff, but you're in flow. You're working together. Make sense?
Yes.
Questions?
No.
Kenny, you come up with it?
So I had a few weeks ago, I had a former teacher reach out to me and it seemed just out of the blue, just give me a call and just check in on me, see how life's going for me.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't in school, I didn't like her, but in the more recent years, I've gotten, appreciate her more.
All
And
right.
when I see her, I've always made a point to talk to her. And she's, I don't know, 70s maybe. Her husband passed away, so she's got a lot of time on her hands. And so I called her a lot yesterday, and she was just very appreciative of that. And I don't know, like my question is maybe like how to how to like I don't know. She's got a lot of time on her hands, and she's lonely a lot,
Right. Big time.
and she doesn't have very much purpose in life anymore.
Right. Right. And so, when I was, I don't know, I don't know if I was in my late 30s, the oldest four kids were teenagers. And I was whining, complaining to my grandfather or my Uncle Russell. I was at his house and I was complaining about how hard my life was. And my grandma was there and she was like in her mid 90s. And I said to Uncle Russell, I said, this is killing me. I mean, I got four teenagers. And I feel like a mother with, triplets who's nursing, you know. And what did he do? He mocked me. Like he mocked me. He's like, wow, Mark, that sounds really like that's just good man stuff right there. Like you're just a wuss, Mark. You're just a baby. He's just mocking me. He said, wow, Mark, that's really tough. Grandma. So my grandma's there. And she's like, he said, I guess the only thing worse than Mark's situation is not to be needed, huh? I mean, it just absolutely just nuked me. I'm like, holy cow. And she laughs and she kind of chuckles and says, yep. And I hurt for her. I just hurt for her. So, you know, so, uh, so yeah, I mean, the personality stuff, the personality stuff, the life vision stuff. Get her productive. Get her productive. Get her where she's contributing. So does she, could she volunteer, for life masteries? Maybe. Could she work for? I don't know. Could she do something with Dreamscape? I don't know. Maybe. Like, I don't know. But yeah, you got to go ahead. Like, you got to have purpose. My mom and dad both died in their mid 70s. And, my dad and mom were very frugal, very good with their money. And so they didn't have to work. If my dad and mom were not good with their money and they had to work at Walmart, they both may still be alive today, honestly. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like they just, and I saw it. I created a system over 60 and loving life, and so I saw it. And so you want to go ahead and tap into that, the wisdom she has, the understanding that she has, and what she's able to do. And like, so yeah, you find her. And how cool is that? Like, if she was doing something with Dreamscape, like, right?
Yeah.
Like
I
with,
mean, I think like the fact that she just reached out and called to me and told him that like that she's thinking about me is like she must have a lot of time on her hands that she got to me. But I mean, that's just I thought that was just the sweetest thing
right,
ever. So I mean, it meant the world to me, and I told her that.
right. Right. And so you go ahead and find something. I mean, Life Masteries can definitely help her. Definitely help her. And Dreamscape, they could find something for her, and to give her purpose and meaning and substance. And oh my goodness. I mean, she's just amazing. So yeah, it's one of the joys of owning a company because, and then if you learn, like Ralph Miller said, Mark, you have a unique gift. You can take anybody's passion and turn it into money. Well, that's every business. No, most business owners take their passions and get everybody else making money, which is not wrong. But you can find, so people have to be, she could be in the best time of her life. She could be the most productive. She could be the most on fire. She could go ahead. Oh my goodness. Like, it's just crazy. I mean, you look at what we need with the bishops, and you look at what we need with we look at what we need with the bishops. We look at what we need, with the Amish schools. Like, she's a teacher. That's what we've been, like, life masteries. That, like, oh my goodness. Like, she is a gold mine. She could be more productive than all of us combined. It's, man, life is good. All right. Always remember, you guys are awesome. And get other young guys and gals to participate. Oh, and she could be, older women are, Bible says older women are supposed to teach younger women, older men are supposed to teach younger men. Why don't they do it? Because older men and older women, they don't know how to do it. They just don't. And younger men and younger women, they just don't listen. They just don't listen. So yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Always remember, we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye bye.